Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to the latest edition of Gearbox Review. Today I'm talking about the Black Diamond Spot headlamp. This is my old one. Last night I was testing out my gear. I've been going on these night runs at South Mountain here in Phoenix, and as you can imagine, running on trail at night, it's going to be super important to have some sort of illumination. So I was testing this thing out and it had finally given up. It had been getting dimmer over time. I thought it was just time to replace the batteries, but after I replaced all the batteries, then it had just completely stopped working on me. I was reflecting on how long I'd had this thing, and I've had this for over 5 years. So thinking about, long section on the PCT, the AT, Arizona Trail. I even used this during a season when I was an outdoor field instructor at an outdoor science camp. So just kind of reflecting on the last 5 years that I'd had this lamp with me, kind of brought up some old memories. It's kind of tough to part with a piece of gear, but all good things must come to an end. But I really like the Black Diamond Spot, so I just decided to go ahead and replace it with the new one. The Black Diamond Spot has 400 lumens. I'm not exactly sure how much a lumen is, but it's got some serious illumination power. The way that I can kind of describe it is you imagine taking a torch and then you throw 1,000 candles into that, and then you condense all that light into a geodesic prism. You attach that to the front of your forehead. It's going to provide plenty of light, enough light that you're going to need. So if you're going to be hiking at night, certainly enough light to be able to do your camp chores in the evening. And then most importantly, it's got a red light. So not only does this have a lock mode, a red light, it's got dual switch, dual beam, battery meter, and a power tap. So the power tap is, definitely an upgrade from the old one where it was a little more difficult to swap in between the different modes. So it's a lot easier to swap in between modes on the new version of the Spot. But what I was talking about, having that red light is definitely crucial for, doing things in the evening and preserving that night vision. It also is more considerate for the people that are around you. Absolutely nobody likes to get blasted in the face with a bright white light, in the middle of the evening. It can be very jarring. Maybe even bring up some old memories of, getting up to no good out there in the forest and just getting hit in the face with a beam of light from the fuzz. So, in order to keep everybody cool and comfortable, just maintain that red light during your night vision. Also with the Spot, it is water submersible. I don't think that you're going to be using it, in underwater conditions at all, but, should you be wandering around at camp and end up falling into an alpine lake, it's over 1 meter for over 30 minutes. This falls in some water, it gets wet, you're hiking in the rain, whatever the case might be, it's still gonna hold its own. It's also got an adjustable band, so it makes it nice and comfortable on your head as you're making the adjustments to get it nice and snug. Here's some ideas about the different run time. So like I said before, it is dimmable. So when it's at its max function, somewhere between 2.5 hours, but unless you're hiking in the most dark conditions, I usually like to dim it just a little bit. So at the low end, it should be able to run for about 200 hours, illuminating the area of 12 meters around you. So especially as you get into the evening, even if you're just using this to do some camp chores, everything else like that, as your eyes adjust, just set it down to the low setting and it should be more than sufficient for getting the job done. And then also here on the back, it just says, the total weight of the light is 45 grams. If you add the 33 grams for 3 AAA batteries, then the whole thing comes out to 78 grams. So this may not be the lightest of all the lights, but it is pretty durable. Like I said before, this last one had lasted me over 5 years. So, I'm definitely confident that this was the right choice for me, just replacing the gear that I had already have. It also says that there's a rechargeable battery. I'm not too familiar with this. This is all kind of some newer technology, being able to get a rechargeable lithium ion battery. I think that's more compatible with this rather than using those AAAs. If there's something that you're using that you like a little bit more than, either Black Diamond or the Spot specifically, feel free to drop a comment. Just let me know what you're using. And, if you're like me and really like getting out there, going for night runs, going for night hikes, everything else like that. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but when you've got a good illumination source to be able to go out there and walk or run comfortably, definitely adds and makes that experience not only more enjoyable, but certainly more safe, as you can kind of keep track of everything that you're walking on. So there you go. It's Steamboat with his new headlamp. Hope you've enjoyed. Subscribe, stay adrift.